yeah, a little prop here. We've got a quick little video for you guys. And that is on one of my many RMAs that I have going. This one, quite successful. I need to get the other one for the hard drive sent out. Boom. It's back. It's back. Documentation. There is this sticker on it. I think my receipt that I sent in is there. Side note, this was bought at Home Depot. They now only maintain your receipts for 18 months, I think. So make sure you have a copy of your own purchase receipt, like downloaded from there, screenshotted, PDF, printed, however you want to do it, because in this case, this was a 5-year warranty from Milwaukee. Obviously, I didn't send it in with this chamfer tool on there. And without the battery, which is from 2020. So this is the Gen 2 fuel drill. Specifically, this is the hammer one. The original, I only had a drill. I don't even know if there was a hammer drill in the original fuel 12 volt M12 fuel. I prefer the M12. I made entire videos though about how this one ergonomically is just straight up worse than the Gen 1. The trigger's worse. You're like, well, why'd you get it then? Well, the chuck died on my Gen 1 well outside of warranty. And I want to say a chuck replacement, which I did eventually do end of last year or earlier this year, was like, I want to say $50 at the time. And I got this tool with one 4.0 battery and one 2.0 battery for like $80 from Home Depot on a holiday sale. So like I couldn't justify putting a $50 chuck into I was like, I could get it for $80. But after using this thing, it pinches my hand back here because my hand wants to ride up. The Gen 1's just better. And we had been using it with basically what was with the chuck is it wouldn't drill straight anymore. And it wouldn't ratchet, like lock down. So what I mean by that is pop your bit in here and then you'll hear, if you hear that ratcheting, that's what prevents it from coming loose. Like when you let it go right there, instead of the momentum going zoom and unscrewing the keyless chuck, that ratcheting. So there was this whole video that I had to swear was a meme, and apparently wasn't. Some guy was trying to say, so it won't like loosen or something. What you're supposed to do is go till it clicks like that, and then back it off past that. No, what's going to happen is as soon as you hit anything heavy or hard, it's just going to unscrew like this. You're going to be back to a non-ratcheting keyless chuck. And that is like the benefit of a modern chuck is that it has the ratcheting mechanism. No. You want to feel like a chunk. That means it got tight, right? And then you want to go like that. Dude, I was clowning on that video. I forget where it was from. And you might be like, well, what happened to this one? I actually have no fucking clue. There is still a little, I don't actually trust it that much, because you can see here. And I hadn't trusted it necessarily for like a straight hole, like a perfect hole in a while, right? So I've been using, I actually have the 800 series, I think it's an 861 snap-on. The problem is that this has a half-inch chuck. The 14.4 volt snap-ons always only have a 3/8, which can be an issue. Like with, say, this, I think this is my largest chamfer bit, which is for 5/8 inch bolt holes, I think. Yeah, that's for 5/8, and yes, you want 82 degrees. If it's doing a standard 90 or 45 or however they're saying it, that is incorrect. You want the 82 degree. This is, I forget, it's like Keo tools or something is what this is. Like these are actually meant to be used in like a drill press, or can be, you know, or a mill, that sort of thing. That means they're probably way overkill for just slapping them in a drill and letting them rip. But they work darn well, even on hardened steels. And that was a big thing. Maybe not hardened, like a high carbon hardened steel, but like, what do you want to say? Like, I've used them on like steel, like not just mild steel plates and stuff like that before to chamfer. So I'm quite happy with them. A lot of them, be careful if you get like one of these bits. A lot of them are only meant for wood, not metal. But yeah, this video is not necessarily about that. But yes, so there's still some play in here, which is why I would not, and why I will be, why I guess not trust it to punch a very precise hole. But I've already been using since I got the snap-on one. It's skinnier, lighter. Yes, it takes a bit longer if you want to blast through stuff. Like when I was doing the, what are those, like 1.5-inch holes for the networking in the basement, using a hole saw, or you might use an auger if you have like a hole dog or something like that. I wasn't using the snap-on for that. Like I would either be using this guy. Actually, to be truthful, the other one that we have around here is the subcompact. That thing was amazing for getting in between the joists, or the floor joists, right? So I wasn't even using this guy. But there's far less play than when I sent out. When I sent this out, this, you could actually, like, how do you want to put this? Like, take this and, like, you could see, like, light through that side. Like, it was like somebody dropped it from a very high height on the chuck. I know that hasn't been done. No idea. Turns out we were, I want to say, a couple months at most within the warranty. When is my oh, I'm just throwing papers everywhere. Here, November 2021. So that would have been November 2026. We're now in July. I think I did it in June. So like we're like 4.5 years it made it. I do have the issues it had right here. And these are what you would have had to pay for had it not been covered under warranty. This was the sticker that was stuck on the handle so they could track it. You know, you can see it's mine beat up a little. Realistically, once I got the snap-on and once I fixed the chuck on my original one, which was actually like only $40 now, the hardest part was getting the old one off. Dang, that is, whew, I wish I had my vise properly clamped and it would have been a heck of a lot easier. I mainly only use this when I needed the hammer drill function, because the ergonomics are just like such trash. And now that this thing, it's fixed, I'm glad, you know, because they did it under warranty and whatnot. But what do you want to say? Like, since it can't really drill a straight hole, I will be on the lookout for a Gen 3, or if they put out a Gen 4, because then the Gen 3 will go on sale, hammer drill to replace it. And then this one will become like, if you want to run wire wheels or twist cables, or like, oh, that's currently what the Gen 1 was doing with its broken chuck. I would like to get that one back, as just like my half-inch drill, because I think it's skinnier this way. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of the early, they might have cheaped out a little bit later on in the Milwaukees. But here's what they ended up replacing: gear case assembly, gear stripped, shuttle forward reverse, wearable part exceeded useful lifespan, apparently, and I have felt that with it. This bit, it would often go here and then not go all the way through, like the selector, let's call it, right? Half-inch keyless chuck, wearable part exceeded useful lifespan. Yeah, probably. I mean, I use this thing for let's say 4 years of its life, it was my main drill. You know, oh, and if you're running like, oh, why is there already wear on here? Well, you notice how it has that chamfer bit in it? Yeah, I've already been using it since it came back. Shop supplies disposal, service labor hours, warranty 0000. So the gear case assembly, gear stripped, what there is in here, right where this metal guy is, right? And that's where it's separating, and it's even a little, like I said, I wouldn't trust this thing to punch a perfectly straight hole anymore. But realistically, I mean, like if I have to use the hammer drill function until I find a Gen 3 on sale, it'll probably be fine. A lot of times when you're doing that, like once you get it going, it's not a huge concern, right? The chuck isn't moving here. Like, I guess a little bit left, right. But that is what broke. The gears in here, I'm assuming there's like, where you do the speeds as well. There's like I don't know if you see them. There's like a middle gear, and then there'll be 3 on the outside, and the middle gear and a 3. Like I'm guessing that is what was stripped out. I didn't actually, when I sent it in, I didn't actually have to tell them what was wrong with it. Like they're just like, yeah, send it in, we'll fix it. So, and I mean, it's in usable condition. The other thing that this would do is, even though you're in drill, or for say in hammer, and this might be because like the gears were stripped here, right? Even though you were in drill or hammer, it would sound like you had the clutch on and feel like you had the clutch on, like it would give out before that would occur. So, you know, that may also indicate stripped gears. I feel like this thing has gotten beat up a lot less than my Gen 1 did. Like I said, and that may come down to, and may be part of, because I never liked it ergonomically. So I for a while it was my only one, but like, I don't know, it's just awkwardly top heavy. If you see, this top part's super high, right? The trigger, if you hold the Gen 1, it just feels way worse. This is an all plastic trigger. The Gen 1 is a much flatter front with rubberized trigger. Same thing if you look at the M12 non-fuel screwdriver. They really need to make a subcompact screwdriver. You guys need to help me with that. They haven't updated their screwdriver in, took them forever to do it. The second gen, in my opinion, was worse than the first gen, because they like made it bigger and gave it more power. I'm like, it's a fucking screwdriver. So what we need is, now that they make a subcompact impact driver, they make a subcompact drill. Now they make a subcompact 3/8 and 1/2 inch impact driver, and you're like, well, you're gonna pick those up, right? No, I have my snap-ons. I'm fine there. Now, maybe if there's a screaming deal, but I'm happy to see that Milwaukee, somebody like any brand, is finally using the brushless tech to make their tools smaller. Whereas when Milwaukee originally took the brushless and went fuel, what they ended up being able to do is they're like, hey, yep, we'll make it a little bit bigger, but it's gonna be way more powerful. Like, it can compete, the fuels, and that's why I always got them, could compete with the M18 non-fuel. And I like the smaller, more compact. This is easier. Also, this is plenty for me. I actually would argue the new subcompact, since it's brushless, I've shown putting in leg screws with it. I actually used it to drill out those 1.5-inch hole saw holes. Yes, it takes longer. Like, I timed it. It literally takes longer than this guy to do a lot of those tasks. But the fact that it can do it, and at the time it was $150 for both the drill and impact and the 2 batteries. I think now a singular tool, I don't even know if it's a bare tool, but it's at least a singular tool, I think is that much money. And I knew even though I didn't need those at the time, I knew I needed to jump on them. They're now my garage ones. So if we need like a drill or an impact driver well in the garage without coming in here, they're out there ready and waiting. But yeah, for those wondering, like, does Milwaukee warranty it, yada, yada, yada? Yeah, they sure did. Like I said, there's still a bit of play there. I may reach out to them and see if that's still gonna be covered. you know, since they repaired it mostly. We'll see. Otherwise, it is. I already used it for chamfering as well as drilling some initial holes in with a step bit in the Craftsman toolbox that I managed to dig out of. I went dumpster diving and dug that out. So it did fine there. Both of those were rather imprecise things, though, right? So questions, comments, throw them down below. I'm going to get this scanned in. And like I said, probably shoot them over a quick message to see, you know, if this is as repaired as it can be, or if, you know, they can maybe fix the play that's in there still. So, hope you'll see in the next video and you enjoy videos like this. This has been a combination of, got my own hashtag all the RMAs. Everything I own at some point will break. It's a matter of how do the brands support you when you get there. And I do find that important. Just like when I'm buying, I'm looking at buying new sockets. A lot of my Chrome Craftsman, well, not Craftsman, they're Allen, which is made by the same OEM as the Craftsman. One's even mismarked as Craftsman. They are getting old. Some of the Chrome's coming off, like some of them are quite worn. And one of the key things is I need to be able to buy replacement individual sockets. Sometimes I need doubles of something, especially if you have the same like bolt and nut on like the end, and it's a common one. For example, when building my 2x4 desks, you know, I need two of whatever basically. And the other reason is if I mess one up or I lose one, I want to be able to buy an extra without buying a whole set. Same thing with drill bits. I went over that before as well. So that, as well as how does the company support you when it goes and breaks. You know, we already had this test where I want to tell you too, this was like a week turnaround. I want to say it might be once it got there, 2 to 3 day turnaround. Like, it was crazy. I took longer than I should have probably to ship it out. But yeah, once they got it, like we're talking about the same speed as Snap-on. Snap-on was crazy. That was like a 1 day, maybe a day and a half turnaround. You know, like once it got there. Both of these places are very close to me, because they're based out of my area and they have repair depots very close. But that wouldn't speed up the repair time, just the transit. So yeah, let me know your experiences. Have you guys? I've heard of Milwaukee declining repairs before. Let me know if that's happened to you, or not. Like, have they successfully covered you as well? Because that's what I like to hear. But you know, there's always, or like when something like this happens, where it's repaired-ish. You know, how did they handle it, right? So, hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Questions, comments down below. Have a good one as always. Peace.